Let's go to the main menu and click Guides. Then type in Word Study, 2 words with a space. Locate Workflows, and we're going to look at Word Study Original Language. Go ahead and click that menu option. Now, this is assuming that you are ready with a Greek or Hebrew word. See how it says lemma? Notice that there's a keyboard, and if you click on that, you can actually type in the Greek and Hebrew word. So let's type in AGAP in English. Look at Logos generated the word agape in Latin. Now let's click the keyboard and change that to Greek, and let's type in AGAP. Notice that it automatically took my letters and turned those into Greek letters. Now we're finding the word we're looking for, agapao. Another approach, let me click that alpha omega icon again and click default. I can type in G for Greek, and then I can type in AGAP, and I can have the best of both worlds. And that is, there's agapao. One other option, and I'm going to go ahead and choose that for the word that we're going to look up. Another option is to have your Bible open. I'll go ahead and open up a Bible here. I'll type in John 3:16, and I'm just going to right-click on the word loved, and then locate the circle icon, which represents the lemma. Click that, then go over to the right and look for copy reference text. Then I can go into the box, delete everything, right-click and paste, and now I've got the Greek word in there, okay? So I can paste it in there, I can choose it from the list, and there I go. I'm going to go ahead and close my Bible and expand this window. Now, the purpose of this guide is to help you study the words in the original language, to think more deeply, and to have more thorough, in-depth research. There's basically 5 steps. Step number 1 is research biblical word usage. Part 1 of this step is review your choice of lemma. Notice that they give access to the lemma section from the word study guide, and now you've got the basic information. The speaker icon works so you can't pronounce the words, and you have a link to all your lexicons. Then you have research word occurrences. This is looking at the word wheel, and so you can see how many times a word appears. Okay, so we have a word wheel here, and it's important you understand how to interpret this information. We know at the right, 142 uses. The different colors represent different books of the Bible, and if you float your mouse over it, you can get the count. Now, if you float your mouse over a section of the wheel, you'll see a pop-up. And what it does, it flips it. Instead of looking at the Greek word, we're looking for the English word and then all the related Greek words, and we can see the number is 284. So the English word of love is used 284 times. If we float our mouse over the red part of the wheel, we see that this is beloved, and there's 2 primary words, and those are used 66 times. So be aware of how to interpret these numbers. Okay, so this is a good visualization of how often this word is used. Then we have research the lexical entries. And again, we're seeing our section here that we saw earlier. And all we have to do is click the link, and that will open up our lexicon. There's some key questions along the way that you should review. Then it's research senses of the word. Now again, senses is looking at classification. So the sense to love and the sense of care, or to like, or to be loved as a state are all different senses related to this word love. And you'll need to take that into account as you study. Now, step number 2 is research commentaries for lemma discussions. This is actually pretty handy because Logos will run a search in your commentaries for this word. And what will surprise you is where this word appears. Now, we're in lemma and passage, and over at the right, we have passage and resource. Now, with passage, we're looking at lemmas and passage. And so here we're looking at every book of the Bible where this word may be used. That can be very helpful. If we click on resource, and we expand lemmas and passage, now we're looking at those books, again, sorted differently. And here we have 1st, 2nd, 3rd John, where these words are used. So be aware of these different types of search results. Nevertheless, it's helpful to get these links to the commentaries. Scrolling down, we have step 3, which is review word usage outside the Bible. Now, this is great because essentially Logos finds the books in your library, and it will bring them in and search them for the same word. Now, you must keep in mind that when you go outside the biblical literature, you must be sensitive to time and context, all right? Time in the sense is, when was this book written? Before the Bible, after the Bible? And context is, what's the purpose of that writing? They may use the Greek word a little bit differently because, well, it's a different context. So these resources in your library are additional resources. They are not the final definition and meaning of the word, the context of the word in the biblical context is, but it can shed light on the range of meaning and how the word could be used. That can be very useful. All right, record your observation is step 4. Pretty straightforward. Take all that you've done, write it all down, and then step 5, share insights with others from your study. I think this is a great little workflow. If you've never done word studies, this will structure it for you and guide you. But in time, you're starting to discover that all word studies really are is through the exegetical guide or the Bible word study report, looking at a lexicon, seeing what the range of meaning is, and then maybe checking some other resources if you need to, and then looking at the immediate context that you're studying and determine the word meaning from there. Let's go ahead and click the close all at the top right.